Hello and welcome to another No BS game guide. As mentioned in the title, this guide is gonna be all about the best ability cards you can find in Auto Gladiators, the newest Dota 2 arcade game. This guide is mostly addressed to players who have already played a game or two, but total beginners can also benefit from it. I will break down every ability into three categories: the white abilities, the purple abilities, and the gold abilities. You can find the full ability list in the description in case you want to skip this video. With all that out of the way, let's begin. First we have Warblade, a very strong attack card that on its final level reduces the enemy's attack by 50%, a strong ability for any build. Moving on, we have Alacrity Boost, an evade ability that flat increases our evasion, a card that most of your opponents will want, so don't skip it even before the 1000 gold interest. Next, another evade ability, Agile Shackles. This ability allows your attacks to pass through evasion. Again, people will contest this card on early stages. You most likely will need the evasion penetration to win, and that's what makes it so important. Now, from the critical strike build, we have Eagle Eye Boost, a flat amount of critical chance that will be highly contested. If your build is focused on crit, you don't want to miss this one either, even at the very beginning. Body of Regeneration is a must-have skill, but only if your build focuses around health, tank and regen. It will provide you with a big chunk of health regen, and on the last stages, it's getting pretty broken with 1.5 second cooldown. On the contrary, Body of Sturdiness can be of great value even on glass cannon builds, giving you a flat amount of health points. Natural Healing is a card that won't do much on its own, but if you combine it with several other healing abilities, you can reach a point that you generate more HP than you lose. Many abilities from the ultimate skill tree are nice, but only this one made it in our list. That's because it can be used on every build. So, Magic Suspension, a mana reduction ability that makes it almost twice as hard for the enemy to cast his ultimate. Next, we have three similar abilities that will keep you alive no matter if you are tank or DPS. Toxin, Frost and Vulnerability Immunity is the only way to defend yourself from those elements. They are very important abilities since more than the 50% of the enemy damage is usually coming from injury and poison. Seal Destruction is your anti-tank ability, a good way to counter heavy shield focused builds. Same way is Exclusion Guardian. This ability will allow you to do more damage to enemy wards. Very good if you find yourself against a lot of ward users. Wood Poisoning is a very good offensive ability if your main stat is injury, giving you 60% poison stacks based on your injury stacks on its final level. Very good on both tanky and DPS build. Toxic Frost is probably the best ability you will find on our white list, but it requires a high freeze stack as well. Normal poison damage is 1 per stack. This one will give you extra 6 on its max level for every 25 stacks of freeze you have on the enemy. The damage is really high if you can keep the freeze stacks above 25. Burning Wound made it in our list because it is a must-have on every Injury Fury build. It simply provides your gladiator with injury stacks based on his fury. A combo of Agile Guardian and Enhanced Ward can provide you with a huge amount of shield on every evasion build, giving your first ward 20 points of HP for each evasion stack. This, plus the flat amount from the Enhanced Ward ability, will create a very huge HP pool for your first ward. And with that, we finish our list with the best white ability cards, and now we can move on the best purple ability cards. To begin, we have Magic Deviation, an evasion ability that pretty much makes your evasion stat able to defend you against spells. A very strong ability for all evasion builds. Next, we have a key ability for every mage critical build, Mana Blast. This allows our gladiator to deal critical damage with spells. As you can suspect, this is a big power spike for every ultimate build. Bestial Bloodline is a very strong health ability that we will discuss again later in this video. It provides your gladiator with 50% bonus health at max level. Coming up next in our list, we have pretty much every purple ultimate ability. Starting with Essence Flux, which will restore a percentage of our ulti after every cast. Arcane Deterrence will stun the target after every ultimate cast, and Arcane Torrent will increase the ultimate damage by a flat amount. We will add another gold card in this combo later in this video. Moving on, we have 6 lookalike abilities that power spike every build. Those are the pre-battle Toxicant, Frost, Vulnerability, Fury and Tadal Blessing. All of those will grant our gladiator with a head start of each of those stacks before the battle begins. The next one made it in our list because it is essential for every ward build. Its name is Summoning Guardian, which will spawn one very tanky ward when our gladiator reaches 50% of his HP. Next to last on our purple list is Shield Strike, a very strong shield ability that will damage the enemy based on our shield stacks, a big power spike for every shield build. And lastly, Wrath of Burning Soul, a fury ability that simply does damage based on the fury stacks. This one is pretty strong because of how easy we can stack fury in the late game. And that covers the purple list. Moving to our final category, the gold abilities. Starting with Omni Slash, an attack ability that will burst the enemy with 3 consecutive attacks once every 3 seconds, pretty strong for obvious reasons. Next on the list we have Holy Reflection, an evasion gold ability that will reflect 100% of the damage evaded back to the enemy as magical damage with 50% chance to do so. Next we have Gift of Liberation, the strongest crit ability in my opinion, which will guarantee you the first 3 attacks and skills to crit. Life Break will damage 30% of our health to both us and the enemy. If we combine this with Bestial Bloodline, we can burst the enemy with a huge chunk of HP since we have more than 5k HP at this stage of the game. Reign of Destiny doesn't seem to be a problem on its own, but on a heavy focus regen build, the 50% chance to double heal can keep you alive pretty much forever. Initiative will cast ulti immediately when the battle begins and will buff our ulti, so combining this with the previous combo enables pretty much every ultimate build. Frostbite is the strongest card against auto attack builds. Frostbite will disarm your opponent for the first 2.5 seconds, plus it will deal some extra damage and apply some free stacks. Wrath of Thunder is a very fun ability that will strike our enemies with a thunder every 0.4 seconds with magic damage based on our injury stacks. Again, a very strong ability if you consider it hits twice per second. And lastly, Twin Guardian, a ward ability that summons a second ward at the beginning of the battle, making every ward build ultra strong. At this point I want to inform you that No BS Game Guides is a newly created channel that can use all of your help, so give us a chance to grow by hitting the subscribe button. And that's it for today's video. Remember, Auto Gladiators is a very new game with many changes to come, so be sure to leave a comment with your own strong ability list based on your observations. Thank you for watching No BS Game Guides and see you on the next video.